Hello, fiber friends. We're back. It's day 2. I got a little spinning done yesterday, so I'm going to show you what that bobbin looks like. But first, we need to have our daily fibery blessing. Our fibery blessing for today is, may every spark of creativity brighten your day. All right, friends, it's time to open an advent calendar. Today is day 2, and I am opening day 2 from Twice Sheared Sheep. They did send me this box. If you want to check them out, I do have a link in the video description. I have a second box that we are opening every other day because that's a 12-day box. But today we're doing number 2, and it's a very interesting shape. It's very tall. So let's see what we have. Let's see, I see a clip of some kind. Ooh, yarn gator. I don't know what this is. It looks like this. And it says, how to use your yarn gator. Clip your yarn gator across the opening of your project bag. Pull your yarn through the holes of the gator to keep each color separated and tangle free. Knit or crochet away. If you need to remove your yarn, remove the lobster claw from the end of the gator, open the jaws, and remove your yarn. No need to cut your yarn. That's clever. There's the lobster claw, and now makes me think of math. Which number is the alligator gonna eat? And then you can close it again with the lobster claw. Yeah. And then this is cool. But the thing is, this whole box is supposed to have different stories, and each item is supposed to relate to a different story. So which story has an alligator? I don't know. I can't think of an alligator story. There was one picture book I remember that had a bird that, Pete. Someone in the book was Pete. And there was a bird that helped the alligator clean his teeth. And they were good friends. What about the monkey? Isn't there one about a monkey and the alligator's like, I'll help you cross the river. And the monkey's like, what if you eat me? And then he does. Trust your instincts, kids. Maybe. I don't know. We'll have to keep going to find out. Let me know what you think it is. And we'll find out if we're right. I came downstairs today, and having my studio not just picked up and organized, but to have everything that was an idea of a project out of the way so that just the things I want to work on are visible and all the clutter is kind of cleared out, that actually got me thinking of more project ideas. I just had this flow of ideas, and I was like, no, stop. I'm not ready. Yeah, so I'm having this conversation about how reorganizing things and cleaning up and organizing things has been really helpful for my creative journey currently. Whatever mile marker I'm at on my creative journey, it feels very much like I have too many ideas, and I start too many of my ideas, and I don't finish enough of my ideas. So I'm on a mission to get some things finished. I had a recent video just before Vlogmas started that actually YouTube is telling me not a lot of people watched. On the analytics on the back end and stuff, it'll be like, not many of your regular subscribers are watching this. And I'm like, thanks, YouTube. Maybe they're busy, or some people don't want to watch it, and that's okay. Watch what you want to watch. YouTube, always there for the grind. But anyway, yeah, so I had a video recently. It's there if you want to watch it. Or skip it. I'll just give you the spoiler right now. I went through a bunch of my outfits and realized that a bunch of stuff needs to be altered or, adjusted or finished. Here's a sweater I found when I was doing my big cleanup project. This is kind of a ridiculous sweater. I started this because I was like, I should have my own ugly Christmas sweater that I made myself. But I love my sheep. And I've worn this sheep sweater for years. When I saw it, I was like, that's my sweater right there, and it's coming home with me. Some of the bells are missing. Can you hear the bell? Some of the bells have fallen off, but I've loved this sweater. So I never really went back to my original ugly sweater idea. And then the problem is that I pulled it out and showed some of my family because I was working on it over Thanksgiving. And I was like, look at this ugly Christmas sweater. And they were all like, that's really pretty. I'm failing at an ugly Christmas sweater. So this is what it looks like so far. It is pretty. It looks like candy canes. The yarn's not great. Let me grab the ball of yarn so I can tell you what it is. It's Yarnspirations Bernat Symphony, and the color is Pomegranate Punch. I can see it. It's 80% acrylic and 20% wool. And when I say that the yarn is not great, what I mean is that it is a single, and already from this ball of yarn being in my fiber stash and just kind of existing there, maybe getting bumped around once in a while, it's already very fuzzy. A single doesn't have the extra ply to, there, it'll focus. A single doesn't have an extra ply to kind of tuck every little fiber together and hold it close and hold it tight and keep it safe, keep it secret and keep it safe. So all the fibers are just kind of hanging out, which means that any abrasion is going to cause it to fuzz. I'm not sure if there's any way to tell how old this yarn is. Like, if it had a date on it, that would be fun. Lot. It says 2021. So yeah, I got this 4 years ago. That's been a while. So what do I want to do with it? I want to finish it. I want to finish it because I think that this is how far I am. I have the back done. Also, this size I think is a 3X, and I'm currently kind of between a 1X, 2X. So, you know, like depending on the fit or the cut or whatever. But I want an example of a singles yarn sweater, and I want it to feel like a blanket. When it's cold and I'm chilly and I'm trying to wake up in the morning and I just want to stay in bed, what if I could just put on a blanket and bring it with me as I, you know, start my day? And it's just like a big blanket that I can wrap up in. I wish it was 100% wool. I do, because I don't breathe well with acrylic. Even just wearing this, like I put it on to record Vlogmas and then I go take it off because it's very warm. Also, because I'm not going to wear the same thing like all day, every day for 25 days. Gross. Yeah, but I am going to finish this. I don't know. There's something about it that's compelling to me that I do want to finish it. So that's what I'm going to do. So I have the back done already. You can see the neck stitches are on the holder. And so here's the back. Look at it really is going to be like a blanket. It's going to be, I just feel like it's cozy. I picture myself at my spinning wheel with a blanket sweater on. And then, I don't know, fuzzy slippers or something. Yeah, so here's the front, the back side. Here's the front. And for the front, it doesn't go up as high, you know, because then the neck is lower in the front, and I think I have 2 inches left to go, which is about 12 rows. I think I'm getting 5 or 6 rows per inch, but it's a bulky yarn. So there's something compelling about it, and I want to finish it, so I'm gonna finish it. So this is my current knitting project. And after this, I do have another sweater on needles that is a much more refined sweater, you could say. But, you know, I'm gonna start talking about a couple things in the way of like handmade gifting and stuff. So I don't want to get into this too far, but let me know, have you ever made a project because it gave you joy? At the time that I started this project, I was excited for it. My spinning skills have progressed a lot since that time. And so I don't feel like this project currently represents where I am as a crafter, but that does not mean it brings me less joy. Does that make sense? I'm truly not trying to be, fancy skills are better, because that doesn't matter. A skill is a skill. If you practice, you get better. If you are just learning, you're a beginner. Like, there's no value judgment in that. It's just like where you're at in the process. And some people, go real far down that path because they're really into it. And some people dabble and move on to other things. And, some people start and get just far enough that they have fun and enjoy. And that's how far down that path they get. So, like, it's not about skill level. It's always like comparing yourself to yourself. Because, what is the saying? Comparison is the thief of joy. So if I take myself from 21 when I started this project, or when I chose this, or when I said, I'm going to make this as my ugly Christmas sweater, and I put that self next to me today, that's a different crafter at that time with that level of experience than I am today. But it's still me. I don't know if any of this makes sense. Maybe it's just too early to be recording today. Let me know if you understand what I'm saying. I know there's a lot going around with like bulky knitting right now being examined closely because of Game of Wool. I don't know if anyone wants to hear my thoughts about Game of Wool. I do have thoughts, but a lot of people are already covering that. Anyway, let me know if you want to hear about it, my thoughts. So, bulky yarn has its place. Simple knits, like construction and stitches, like stockinette, it has its place. I generally do more complicated projects because that's what keeps my interest, because I like to challenge myself, and that's my personal enjoyment of my craft. But revisiting this as a different moment in that journey is still something I'm enjoying, and therefore I'm going to keep enjoying it, and I'm going to finish it. I guess that's all there is to say about that. Let's do a little spinning. Friends, thank you so much for hanging out with me today. The comment of today is, yeah, are there projects that don't represent where you're at as a crafter now, but you're going to do them anyway? Whether it's to start a new project or are you the type of crafter that always has to be doing a new skill, like adding some kind of a challenge to keep yourself interested in the project? Are you like always up a level? Or sometimes do you just, I guess you could say it's like the comfort knit or the thing you don't have to think about too hard. There's absolutely a place for those kinds of projects, and I think that's what I have going on here. So we will see. All right, friends, I will wish you all happy Vlogmas and happy spinning, and I'll see you tomorrow.